Now, knowledge is such that in that you see the subtle of yourself and subtle of others. And the subtle of ours and the subtle of others resides in the chakras. These are the chakras which reside within us. And these chakras are the ones who cater to the need of any emergencies we have. For example, if you have to run very fast, we can run very fast. Our heart starts beating. The sympathetic goes into action. Then these chakras bring it back to normal by supplying proper energy to that part which has been overused. They bring it back to normal. When, say, on the left hand side and the right hand side, we have two extraction of the sympathetic nervous system. When this extraction is too much on the chakras, these chakras get separated from the whole, because that is how we are connected with the whole. This is supposing is the vertebra, is like this. Once it is broken off, you are broken off from the whole. The control is lost. Once the control is lost, then you start working on your own. Once a cell starts working on its own, it becomes malignant. It loses that relationship with the whole, which gives it balance, a sense of proportion and coordination, how much to grow, and that's how cancer is set in. In the society also nowadays, because the society is becoming ego-oriented, we go on saying, what's wrong? What's wrong in this? What's wrong in this? As today, just now, Warren was telling you that there is a dharma within us. We have got 10 dharmas, the 10 sustenance within us, the 10 commandments that we have to obey. Why? Because if you go out of them, then you go into an imbalance, and if the imbalance is set in, then you can develop any one of these problems which come out of imbalances. Because there is no way of knowing it. But when you become the knowledge, you start developing the sensation on your fingers. And there are decoding words, decoding language, which tells you which are the centers catching and how to kill. Immediately you are on the alert because you know it's happening. Now people who have, say, mental problem, they don't know they have mental problem. Some of them, they are not at all aware of it. But then they realize they have a mental problem when our center here, Nabhi Chakra, is awakened. When the light spreads in that area, in the void, the green color you see, then what happens immediately in that light? You don't see anything. But the light works. Enlightenment is such that it goes into action. The light itself acts. Can you imagine? The light itself acts in you. But I don't have to tell you this because we are so addicted and identified that even if you say that this can happen with Sahaja Yoga, many people will refuse. Our identifications have gone so deeper into our being, our hangs up, as we say, that we are not free people at all. We might be free politically, all right. But this is so superficial. The spirit is the only thing that is free within you, which has no hangs up, which has no habits, which does not stick on to anything, is completely detached and emitting joy to us. It is the thing that makes our spirit, our attention so enlightened. Now, enlightened attention, as I said, is not the attention that we understand that there's a light, we see the light, nothing of the kind. But with this enlightened attention, our awareness becomes enlightened. So that we start feeling other people on our hands. Everything must have an utility. As it is, what do we have which has utility in this world? Nothing. If we had something which had real utility, we would not hanker after anything else. The hankering is still on, so we should conclude that whatever we have got now is not the ultimate. The utility of the ultimate is that once you get the ultimate, everything becomes relative. everything becomes relative. That is, what becomes relative is all these changing things, all those things which are perishable, all those things which try to enslave us, all those things, they are attracted outwardly, but inside they are like snakes. And what we become is a detached personality. And if these valencies are missing, then what happens that, as in the combination of chemical combinations you have seen, if one valency is missing, it becomes a negative, and then it combines with that. So there are negative and positive valencies. So if you have some additional valencies with you, then you jump onto other people. If you have less, then you catch some other people. It's exactly the same as it happens in a chemical compound. Now these valencies within us are to be there to give us a balance, and that's what. If you understand vibrations, then it is very easy to retain your valencies intact because you are empowered. Not only that, but you just don't like anything else because you like the vibrations to flow. When the vibrations are flowing, the spirit is emitting through your central nervous system the joy. That is the quality of your spirit. The joy you start feeling. And when you start feeling the joy, then you don't want to give up for anything. Just don't want to give up. You want to enjoy it. So you become the knowledge and the attention which is actually placed in this area and sustained by your liver becomes enlightened. When you go to the right, you may be very austere, you don't eat that food, and this and that. You may become a very ego-oriented person. You go to another side called supraconscious, the collective supraconscious. The left side is the collective subconscious and the right side is the collective supraconscious. It's very interesting to see how these things are caused within us. This center is one of the most important center because it gives us our seeking, and our pure seeking should be for spirit, for nothing else. Formerly, if you had gone too much to the left and right, you would have been not so badly off, and people didn't care also so much. But today, you are so precariously placed and you are so sensitive and vulnerable that you have to be extremely careful. The rate of destruction is set in very fast, and the rate of construction has to be set in much faster.